social media apps, and Stormer says he is prepared to fight if big tech companies resist the initiative. More on these stories, townhall.com.
WVBF is your hometown radio station. And one of the things we like to do to support people in your hometown is to run community announcements. If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address. It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get right back to you if we have a question. Send your community announcements to WVBF1530@hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530@hotmail.com. Thank you for listening. Your hometown radio station is AM 1530, WVBF and 99.7 FM. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests.
Two, three, four. There we go. That's right. It's time for Middleboro Matters on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. Hosted by Joey Driscoll.
Recording
And call in. Perfect. That's 501-822-1106. And now, here is Joey Driscoll with Middleboro Matters.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 15th of June, 2026. It is now the middle of June. We got a lot to get to today. Great program planned for you today. If you miss any part of this program, 2 weeks from today it will be replayed. The next 2 Mondays, the 22nd and the 29th, I will be away on vacation. I'm away on vacation from the end of my shift on the 21st to July 2nd, the night of July 2nd. So, yeah. So the next 2 Middleboro Matters, they'll be replayed. So we got that going on as well. We got a pretty heavy sports show, I think, in my opinion, for this one. We'll get into some local stuff as well as we go along on the show today. But also your phone calls, 508-822-1106, 508-822-1106. I'm going to get to a lot of the topics, and they're mostly sports-related, that I did not talk about on yesterday's show. I wanted to talk about. There's quite a bit to talk about in the sports world, especially locally. I wanted to get to it yesterday. I just was unable to get to it on Middleboro Review, so we'll be talking about it on here. But you also have open phone lines today if you want to talk about whatever is on your mind, 508-822-1106. Did you buy and watch on Paramount Plus, I believe it was, the UFC Freedom 250? Let me know. 508-822-1106, because I did not. But I heard there's some good matches on there. But I did not watch it or buy it on Paramount Plus there. So if you want to call in and talk about that, we definitely can. And no, anyone who's saying the ring is going to stay there forever. No. We talked about this yesterday. It will not. It will not. I don't think people will be too happy if there is a ring in the middle of the White House lawn for more than a couple of days here. And I think Trump is literally just saying that to get reactions from people. I don't think he actually is serious about keeping a UFC ring in the middle of the White House lawn. I think that's kind of ridiculous. Just wanted to point that out. I don't think you're going to see that UFC thing in the middle of the White House lawn for, much longer after this event happens. Maybe a couple more days as they try to kind of break the ring down here after it. Unless he's planning another event this summer, which who knows? I don't know. I don't know how well last night was received because I did not watch it. So I wanted to get that out of the way because I did see a lot of that online. I do not believe there's going to be a UFC ring for several months in the middle of the White House. That is, I think, ridiculous, in my opinion. All right, now our sports here, we got a lot to get to and a lot of championship talk to get to. We will start with the team that has waited the longest for a championship, and we will go in order that way. We will start with the New York Knicks. Now, the reason why I'm going to start this way is because there are multiple teams to talk about here, and in various times of waiting when it comes to the last championship. We go from the New York Knicks, who have been waiting 53 years, to the Taunton softball team that has been waiting literally a year and has won several championships over the last decade. So we will talk about them last. They are certainly not least. It is a last but certainly not least situation with them. We're going to talk about them for sure. But I'm going to go in order here by time of when these teams last won championships. We'll start with the New York Knicks. Last time they won a championship was the NBA Finals of 1973. 1973. And they beat a really good Los Angeles Lakers team to do so. And there are several Hall of Famers on that team. Jerry Lucas made the Hall of Fame in 1980. Willis Reed in 1982. Bill Bradley in 1983. Dave DeBusschere in 1983. DeBusschere, thank you, Ron, for what's the word? Correcting me on that. Wilt Frazier in 1987. Earl Moore in 1990. Phil Jackson as a coach in 2007. And Dick Barnett most recently in 2024. For the Lakers, Wilt Chamberlain in 1979. Jerry West in 1980. Gail Goodrich in 1996. Pat Riley made the Hall of Fame as a coach in 2008 as well. So a lot of Hall of Famers. Red Holzman, as well as a Hall of Famer in 1986. Bill Sharman in 2004. And even some officials who officiated that finals are also in the Hall. Daryl Gerritsen, 2016, and Mandy Rudolph, I apologize. That was 2007. So that's pretty big there. The New York Knicks that year denied the Celtics, another Celtics-Lakers final, beating them in 7 games. The Lakers beat the Warriors in the Western Finals there that year. But it was a pretty interesting final. It only took 5 games for the New York Knicks to defeat the Lakers. Just like it only took 5 games for the Knicks to defeat the Spurs here, most recently. And the New York Knicks, I think the difference, I didn't watch all of these games, obviously, from 1973. I think the difference between 1973 and 2026, the teams, is just the comebacks. The comebacks in this final have been insane. The New York Knicks have completed several comebacks, 2 in a row to be exact, to have this 5-game series win. 'Cause I was thinking they would win it. I was thinking they would win it, but in 6. But they did it in 5. And it's a testament to how good the team is and how the team continued to fight in that series when they were down. They were down by, I think they were down in every single game at one point or another, and they came back every time. That is the markings of a really good team and a team that fights hard for their victories. And the New York Knicks did so. They did a very good job in this series. Spurs, they will be back. They weren't ready this year. And I think they'll learn from this, and they will be back next year, for sure. Now, I want to say that the Celtics win the championship next year, but I can't be sure about that, unless the rumors that I've been hearing over the past couple of days are true, and Giannis is coming to Boston. Then things get kind of interesting, for sure, for Boston. I'd love to see a San Antonio Spurs and Boston Celtics final next year. It's really hard to repeat as a champion. I don't know if the New York Knicks will do it. I don't know if they'll take a step back or not. I think they'll still be very, very good, obviously. But, I mean, you have some other teams now in there. I think the Celtics are starting to regroup, and they're going to be a dangerous team next year. So we'll have to see what happens next year, especially if Giannis is going to be a Boston Celtic, as the rumors seem to have started to indicate here over the past couple of days. There could be a deal announced this week, potentially, from what I'm hearing, from some pretty big names in the NBA reporting world, saying this. That it could be announced. So we'll see what happens with that. Miami is another team that's in the Giannis sweepstakes as well. They could sweep in last minute. That's what they were talking about with the A.J. Brown trade. That the Jacksonville Jaguars could sweep in the last second. They didn't. That didn't happen. A.J. Brown is a Patriot. But that could happen with Giannis. So it's not over until it's over, until it's announced, pretty much, in my opinion there. So, yeah, that is your NBA Finals kind of breakdown here. Now we go over to the Stanley Cup. The 2026 Stanley Cup. Very good Stanley Cup, by the way. The Carolina Hurricanes defeat the Las Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games. That is huge. They have been waiting 20 years for a Stanley Cup final championship. Last time that they won it was the 2006 Stanley Cup playoffs. And also, this was the first Stanley Cup since 2004. So the previous year's Stanley Cup was canceled due to the lockout that took place. So this was a big finals for both Carolina and Edmonton, who was the team that they faced, and the NHL as a whole. Game 7 was in Raleigh, so they won in front of their hometown. In the only difference with the 2026 final was that they won that in Vegas. So that must have hurt. That must have hurt the Golden Knights a lot to lose in Vegas. So there you go. But the Carolina Hurricanes kind of came out of nowhere, I think, in some aspects. I had a feeling that they were building up to something like this because they had players like Aho, and they had some really good players on Carolina that they had been building up over the past couple of years. So they were building up to this. But it all clicked into place this year. Vegas kind of came out of nowhere, honestly. This Stanley Cup final kind of came out of nowhere. I think everyone as the season went on, was kind of thinking, I think Colorado, was the team that people were talking about that they were probably going to be in the final. They were not. This was a very interesting Stanley Cup final. That is for sure. Now, the next team here I'm going to talk about, we're going to take a quick commercial break before we do that, is Middleboro baseball. We're going to talk quickly about them, and then we're going to finish it all up by talking about Taunton as well. And your phone calls, 508-822-1106. We will be right back. Am I right about that? Were they in Vegas for Game 6? I think so.
I don't know.
I think they. Siri, where was the Stanley Cup Final Game 6 this year?
The Hurricanes and the Golden Knights played Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. They were in Vegas. Okay. What am I looking for? 391.
Hi Naylor, Middleboro Gas and Electric would like to share a quick safety tip with you. Whether you're planting shrubs or putting in a new mailbox, Dig Safe will help locate underground pipes and wires on your property and mark them to help prevent any damage. Before you dig, you must call 811 for any project that requires digging, drilling, excavating, grading, or trenching. A damaged gas line may create an explosion hazard that could result in loss of service, severe property damage, or worse. Don't take a chance. Call 811 before you dig.
Hi, I'm Chris Keesh of the Morning Wake Up News here at WVBF. My good friend Joey Driscoll has an amazing program all about Middleboro Sunday mornings from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. It's called Middleboro in Review. He talks about sports. He talks about local events in Middleboro and anything of interest in Middleboro and beyond. So join him, Middleboro in Review with Joey Driscoll, Sunday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. only here at AM 1530 WVVF and at 99.7 FM.
Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let me, 236, please. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back here on Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll, 11:23 a.m. Open phone lines, 508-822-1106. Now we go to our third team that we're talking about when it comes to championships. And they've been waiting a couple of years. They've been waiting that long at all. Middleboro baseball. They've waited a few years since their last championship. They won. And they were at Polar Park in Worcester to do so. They defeated the Apponequet Lakers. And I think the Apponequet Lakers and the Middleboro Sachems are going to have a rivalry in baseball going forward. This was a very good final from all accounts. And I think going forward, when these two teams meet in the future, you're going to have some really good games in the future. But congratulations there to Middleboro winning the Division III Baseball State Championship at Polar Park on Saturday. Let's take a phone call and say good morning, caller.
Joey,
Yes, go ahead.
you guys are going on vacation, right? You and your dad?
I am, yes.
That's what I thought. I thought you guys were already gone.
No, I'm leaving. Going to be gone from the 22nd to the 2nd.
Well, you guys have a good time, huh?
Thank you so much.
All right, brother. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, bye-bye. And thank you, caller, for that. Yes, so the Middleboro Sachems winning the state title for baseball, and pretty huge for them. Apponequet did score early in the second inning. Um, Middleboro scored a 2-run single in the third, and they held on the rest of the game with a lot of good defense and a lot of great pitching as well. It's always good when it comes to like playoff games and baseball playoff games or baseball championships when you have defense and pitching. It becomes a very interesting kind of chess match between the two teams, and that's what we kind of got here. So congratulations to the Middleboro Sachems winning another state title game once again. And finally, the team that has waited the shortest amount of time, and that has been the case for the past 6 years now, that they've waited the least amount of time for another championship, is Taunton High School softball. They have captured their 6th straight Division I title, and that's huge. That is really, really huge. They were 24-1 this year. They did lose one game. I don't know how many games that they have lost over the past 7 seasons. I think you can count the times they've lost the past 7 seasons on 2 hands. They have not lost much at all. And that is a testament to how good the team is, how good the talent is on the Taunton softball team. They did face Attleboro. We'll get to that in a second. But 24-1, obviously number one in the playoffs there. 16-0 in the Hockomock League, undefeated in the Hockomock League. Definitely high-powered with great talent as well. It seems like every year, whenever the seniors graduate from that team, they just bring in new talent, and the new talent takes right to the team, and the team kind of leaves off right where they left off. Every single year, it seems like. Very good. The coaching is very great as well there in Taunton. And they are a powerhouse when it comes to softball. So they have captured their 6th straight title. They took on Attleboro at Rockwood Field on Saturday. Attleboro was 18-7 on the year, number 3 ranked. They did have an early deficit. The Tigers, they fought right back. They went blow for blow with Attleboro in this one before they came out on top. They won 11-8. They won 6. Now they've won 6 straight Division I titles, 11th in their history, and this is also the highest scoring MIAA softball final of all time. So they make history there as well. They're definitely the favorites. I would expect for next year. Maybe a year from now, we'll be talking about this again. But congratulations there for the Taunton Tigers softball team as well. So there you go. There are your championship teams over the past couple of days. A lot has happened over the past couple of days. And also, I do not want to forget the Louisville Kings of the UFL. Congratulations to them as well. They won on Saturday, so that was awesome for them too. A lot of championships being decided this past couple of days, this past weekend really. So there you go. 11:30 a.m. We're gonna take our break, and we're gonna switch over to some local stuff. We're gonna talk about the summer fun runs. I know Ron and Jim briefly talked about that too, but I want to kind of double up on that, reinforce that, to go out there, and if you're in the area, go to the summer fun run. It's a great event. I know from experience being there. I was there once a couple years ago, handing out waters and Gatorade and stuff, and that was fun as well. I saw how much fun the runners had with that event. So 11:30, we're going to take our news break. When we come back, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about trying to find some news on the special town meeting as well and what the articles will be. If not, that'll be okay. Ron, I'm sure, will definitely talk about it tomorrow. So stay tuned to Ron's show tomorrow if I am unable to find it. But let's take our news break.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. Amit Thomason. Wall Street riding high this morning, along with overseas markets, following announcement of that.
For the Sunday show, Middleboro in Review, I don't. Yesterday, I didn't have
Will never be able to have a news.
7:30
Trump
news
making
break.
the
So I
announcement
just
on
go
his
right
Truth
through it.
Social page saying
Okay.
the deal with the
On
Islamic
Thursday,
Republic of
yeah.
Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all! Exclamation point! I hereby fully authorize the toll-free
do?
opening of the Strait of
Specifically
Hormuz
on,
and simultaneously
Saturdays and
herewith
Sundays.
authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade.
What I
Ships
need
of
to
the
do?
world, start
Yes.
your engines. Let the oil flow!
Yeah,
Exclamation
with the
point.
Sunday
Winters
program,
reporting.
there's one CD left. I'm going to have Bread of Life is usually on a CD, but I have MP3s for that, and I'm going to put MP3 on the desktop. Because the CDs for Bread of Life are sketchy. So what I mean by that is sometimes they skip. And that's not fun. So I would rather just put an MP3 on there so that you're not going to have
show
any
it's made
issues.
sufficient progress on tackling corruption. The overall accession process.
And I'll let
could run for
Pastor
years,
Van
with
Dross know
Ukraine's
about that.
battle
I'll
hardened
tell
military.
him. I'm
its
gonna be on
cutting-edge drone
vacation for
technology.
one
President
Sunday,
Zelensky
and
argues that EU
I,
needs this country
will
for the future
put
security
an
of the
MP3
whole
on the
continent.
desktop.
That's the BBC's Nick. Russia unleashed a massive overnight attack.
And I'll tell him
on
which way I'll
capital
go now.
Kiev. Centuries-old religious site heavily
All right.
damaged. 5 rescue workers
That's
killed
a
in
show.
northeastern Ukraine. The war expected to be discussed at the G7 summit in France with President Trump in attendance. And on Wall Street, the Dow is up 649.
So the Red Sox are off today,
625
and their
points,
affiliates are
higher
off
than
today.
1%.
Rocks are off today. So the only two that are playing today is the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox of the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the Wareham Gatemen are also playing, I think. And well,
Christians don't need to waste money on a broken system. That's why I
Fun.
want to tell you about Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's an alternative to traditional health insurance. At
Well,
half the cost.
Dennis, Yarmouth Dennis is more fun to watch than Lowell has been. Yarmouth Dennis was a runner-up last year.
Well, remember, restricted to provider
They've been
networks,
involved
so
for
you
many
choose
years,
the
so,
doctors and hospitals you want.
Yeah.
It's that simple. CHM is not insurance.
The Cape Cod Baseball
It's a
League is
ministry that
definitely
puts faith into action. Feel the
fun.
difference of financial support and biblical
Over
care
100 years
from fellow
old.
believers. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Gotta fix my hair here. There we go.
If you're the parent of an infant, there's a recall you should know about.
Nara Organics is recalling its organic baby formula after a multi-state outbreak of infant botulism. The product is sold nationwide in Target stores and online. Federal authorities say 3 babies became ill in April and May in California, Pennsylvania, and Washington after ingesting Nara Organics whole milk organic powdered infant formula. The Food and Drug Administration says the children were hospitalized and given FDA-approved treatment for infant botulism. Infant botulism is rare but serious. It's caused by bacteria that produce a toxin in the gut. I'm Donna Warner.
Swiss voters have rejected a proposal to cap the country's population at 10 million. The initiative, led by the right-wing Swiss People's Party, nearly 55% opposed the measure with a turnout of almost 59%. News and analysis at townhall.com. He lived his life right on the very edge. Ultimately, that is what led to his demise.
He was known as the Spider-Man of Yemen, and he has died after falling into a volcano crater. Authorities say 30-year-old Al-Waki Ibn Ammar was climbing the steep walls of the Hardod Dam volcanic crater without safety equipment when he lost his grip and fell. Antar had gained fame for his high-risk climbing videos, which often went viral. Jason Walker reporting.
President Trump has celebrated his 80th birthday with a UFC cage fighting event on the White House lawn. The UFC event, which is also part of the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, featured 7 fights, along with thousands of spectators chanting USA, USA prior to the start of the event. Townhall.com.
Okay. Marshall? Still trying to find it. I don't think they have a warrant for it. I don't see it on here. Oh, maybe. Okay. Nope. I got it here.
There's only 7 articles.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. It really should be on the town website. I don't see it on the town website. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. The town website is kind of hard to navigate, unfortunately.
I found it when I was looking through it. I found it hard to find.
Yeah, it is on Facebook, so I'm just gonna read it off of that. I have it right here. Ah, here we go.
99.7 FM.
Oh, come on. Good, perfect, still good, great, awesome, good, live, yes, we're live, perfect. Okay. Back. Go here and process and bye-bye. Welcome back. 11:38 a.m. here on Middleboro Matters. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 15th of June, 2026. This is Middleboro Matters. This program, just as a reminder again, being recorded, will be replayed on the 29th of June. 29th of June. Last week's Middleboro Matters was also pre-recorded. It will be replayed next Monday. So the following 2 Mondays, I am away. So pre-recorded programs there for Middleboro Matters next couple of weeks. Now, the big thing happening tomorrow for Middleboro is the special town meeting. Now, we had the regular town meeting. And that was on June the 1st. That was 2 weeks from today, or 2 weeks from tonight. And that was an interesting meeting, a pretty long meeting. They were going over the budget as well. And there's still some things being talked about with that, even after town meeting, still comments being made about it and things like that. If you tune into the town meetings, the Board of Selectmen meetings, I mean. As well as since the town meeting. But the special town meeting did not happen that night. I believe it was due to a scheduling thing. But they're going to have it tomorrow night, 7 p.m. at the Middleboro High School. So same place. There are going to be some very interesting things on the special town meeting warrant. There's a lot going on. Let's talk about the articles. There are just 7 of them, but we're going to go over them all, just so that people can know what's going to be on the ballot there if you're going to be going to the special town meeting tomorrow night. So Article 1 is supplement FY 2026 operating budgets. A proposal that would appropriate $1 million from free cash to bolster two accounts: $650,000 for health and life insurance costs, and $350,000 for snow and ice expenses. Article 2, additional funding for accrued employee benefits, $150,000. This article would amend the prior town meeting vote to appropriate an additional $150,000 from free cash to cover accrued employee benefits. Article number 3 is going to be water planning and regulatory compliance. The Water Department seeks $75,000 from water retained earnings to fund engineering work related to the town's water emergency response plan and annual water management permit. A prior year bill payment of $2,152 is article number 4. Town meeting would authorize payment of a prior fiscal year water department bill using free cash. The article requires 9/10 vote because it concerns a prior year obligation. Article number 5 is the Mayflower Wastewater Interceptor Project. This proposal would appropriate $348,579 from wastewater retained earnings for expenses associated with the Mayflower Wastewater Project. The Mayflower Wastewater Department Interceptor Project. There we go. Article 6. Voters would rescind previously authorized borrowing and an ARPA-related appropriation connected to this project that we just talked about in Article 5. After determining those previously approved funds are no longer needed for that purpose. Article 7, finally, Article 7, repair wastewater vacuum trucks, $56,044. The wastewater department requests $56,044 from sewer retained earnings to repair the debris tank structure assembly on a vacuum truck, including parts, painting, and installation. So 3 of those 7 articles there, very important to the wastewater department area there as well. So there you go. That's 7 articles for the town meeting, special town meeting tonight. That should be a fun thing as well. And I did also see something as well. I want to mention this as well because it is official and it's pretty cool. And we are going to get his opinion on this when we see him again. We're going to talk to Eric Dunn on July the 3rd. But Eric called me earlier this week, and he mentioned to me that he will be performing the national anthem at TNA's Slammiversary, which will be in Agnes Arena. That is in Boston. And that is huge. That is huge. So shout out to Eric there. He'll be performing the national anthem there. I think it's prior to the event happening. So that is cool. I'm not sure if it's going to be a live thing that you'll see on, if you have TNA Plus. I'm not sure if it's a live thing you'll see on the actual broadcast. I'm not sure. But he'll be playing, he'll be singing the national anthem for that event, which is huge. Slammiversary is one of TNA's biggest events. It's going to be well attended as well. So I wanted to shout out Eric with that and mention that as well because he called me on this earlier this week. So that's going to happen on Sunday, June 28th. Of course, that is when Slammiversary takes place. And we'll talk to Eric about it as well. Kind of get his reaction after as well. That's going to be July 3rd. So stay tuned for the July 3rd Hometown Talk show as well. because we're going to get his opinion on that. So there you go. All right. That's that. I wanted to mention. Definitely wanted to talk about that. Definitely wanted to mention that. That is a big thing. And he mentioned that to me earlier on this past week. So let's take another commercial break. When we come back, we are going to kind of reset things here. Talk about the Summer Fun Run as well, and a couple of other things here. Kind of finish the show with some transportation, I think. We didn't get to it really yesterday. So we'll finish the show with some transportation. By the way, today's Monday. Everyone is off, it seems like, when it comes to baseball. Red Sox are off. Their organization teams are off as well, the minor leagues. Brockton Rocks are off. The only teams that are on the schedule for today is the Little Spinners. And for anyone who's watching the Cape Cod Baseball League, the closest team to our area is the Wareham Gatemen. I believe they'll be in action today as well. That's it, really, for baseball today. There's really nothing going on, unless you do watch the College World Series as well. That's, I believe, happening today. That's continuing today. So there you go. When we come back, we'll have the Summer Fun Run, talk about it a little bit for a couple minutes, and then we'll finish the show with some transportation. We'll be right back.
Hi neighbor, Middleboro Gas and Electric would like to share a quick safety tip with you. Many people have been taking on home improvements this year, but have you also upgraded your electrical safety system? Older homes, like so many in our area, have outdated breakers and wiring that may not meet the high-powered needs of modern technology. A licensed electrician knows all the code requirements, including the latest updates adopted just last year. You can find an easy-to-read summary of home upgrades to consider at mged.com.
Hi, I'm
Yeah, that's something I gotta ask Eric about. Is does TNA do the national anthem live on their pay-per-views? Because I've never watched a TNA pay-per-view in my life. I think they do.
Only here at AM 1530 WVBS and at 99.7 FM.
And welcome back. I turned on the bumper music. There we go. It is 11:49, just about, here on Middleboro Matters. Open phone lines, 508-822-1106 if you want to call in, talk about what's on your mind this morning, whether it be anything World Cup related or, transportation related. We'll get to transportation in just a couple of minutes as well, or if it's something else. Give us a call, 508-822-1106. If you're in Middleboro and want to talk about the special town meeting briefly, you can do that as well. Again, 508-822-1106. Now, the Summer Fun Run for Raynham. Oh, we have a phone call. Let's take that phone call and say good morning, caller.
Good morning, Joe. What's going on in the real world out there, my friend? How are you this morning?
Jim, you called in just in time. So, Summer Fun Run tonight, Jim. What number is this, by the way? What number? Number Fun Run.
This is number 7.
Okay.
And we went from 65 the first week to 85 the next week to 80, 84. Then we've had 2 consecutive weeks of over 100. We had 103 2 weeks ago, and last week we had 107. And interestingly enough, the bell curve, you hear people talk about that. That there's a little bit at one end and a little bit at the other, and then the question is, where's the big bump? Is Is it more to the left or to the right? And when you look at the results, they're heavily skewed toward what's called mid-packers and back-of-the-pack runners.
Mm-hmm.
And those tend to be the beginners, maybe some intermediate ones who've run a couple of races, but not really what you would call competitive runners or competitive athletes. And at the front end, times they get faster every week, and that's because somebody faster what shows up each week. But it's skewed to the elite runners, what's called the elite and advanced. That accounts for probably less than 40% of the total field. And this is to say that when you analyze it statistically, and being a sports guy, you like statistics.
Yes.
Most of the runners are in, if the fastest time was about 6 minutes a mile, and the slowest time was about 15, then you'd say, well, 7.5 or 8 is about the median, right? Mm-hmm. But the number of people that are beyond the median is like 60%. And that says that this is really an event that it's competitive, but it's not sort of make or break all stakes things that you see like in playoff basketball or professional sports. And my experience over the years of 50 plus years of doing this running thing is that the average person who was starting running, whether it's for weight control or health reasons or just trying to get some exercise and get outside a little bit more, they go to a race, like a formal race, and it's very intimidating, very daunting, because there's people there look like they just came from the Olympics, and in point of fact, some of them probably did. And it's and it's a lot of money. Races these days, $25 to $30, and yes, you get a T-shirt. You probably get the same one at Kohl's for $7 or $8. And so the fun run is aimed at beginners and people. We've even had some incredible success stories. This year, a group of people came coming together. There are 4 or 5 of them, ranging in ages, and probably friends and family, and they were all quite heavy, overweight people. Every week they run, they've done better. And one of the people from about 3 years ago wrote a note to them on Facebook saying, I started coming to the Monday night fun runs and I weighed almost 300 pounds. And this person said, I now weigh 140, and there are pictures of her, and before and after, and she's just incredibly lovely, and she's changed her life, and it's helped her with her relationship and her job and her children, just her life in general. So we really encourage people that if you're thinking about doing this, some people run a little bit and then walk a little bit, run a little bit and then walk a little bit. There's just found innumerable stories of people who showed up at the beginning of their running life, if you want to call it that, and within a few number of years, it changed so many things in their life for the better.
So yeah, 6 o'clock is going to be registration. This is about a 3-mile course, just about that.
It figures out the exact distance of it is 3.246, and we wheel measured it with one of those reels that like the land surveyors use or the city uses when they're measuring boundary lines and things like that. So we know pretty precisely that it's about 3.25 miles. Of course, the most popular race is the 5 kilometer, which is 3.1 miles. So this is a good training one, and it's not a hard course because first mile you run around South Main Street, it kind of tilts down a little bit, goes up a little bit, and then you make a sharp right turn at the 4 corners. There's a steep drop to the dam in Johnson's Pond, and kind of goes on flat, low rise for about another half a mile. Then you turn left onto Gardner Street, another steep drop, and this is where there's a dam and a bridge. So this is obviously a low point in the town. Wherever you see a bridge or a dam, that's a lower point in town. And when you realize that water you see flows out to where the finish line is, you said, well, it's going to be downhill, but you run up a hill. It's not a bad one, and you get to the top, and you've got just about a mile left to go. And it's flat up off to the former Rainian landfill, which is our solar farm now, right? And then there's a sort of a gentle sloping drop down to the baseball fields, the Marysville Road Memorial Soccer Field. And it's wide open. There's farm land on one side, athletic fields on the other. So it's a safe course, and it's challenging but not daunting. In other words, the average person can probably do it without much ill effect. And there's other fun runs during the week if you want to follow up on them. But the Monday night one, you don't cross any roads, so you don't have to worry about crossing the road with traffic. And first mile, there's not only a sidewalk, there's a breakdown lane and a bike lane. So there's plenty of room to run when it's a pack. But as the pack 40 is out and the 6-minute milers are putting some distance on the 7s and the 8s, the back of the pack still has plenty of room there to run, and you see groups of people, 2s and 3s and 4s, and they're talking. They're having a good time. And when they finish, we get some Gatorade, some ice water, and it's just a good event. And it looks like the weather's going to cooperate. There's a slight chance of rain around 6:30 or 7, but even so, rain actually is one of those things that's kind of fun to run. It kind of cools you off.
Yeah. Well, we have 3 minutes left in the program here. I do want to get your quick thoughts on something, transportation-wise. I don't know if we've talked about this before. What is your thoughts on the future of the MBTA potentially expanding past, Middleboro and into the Cape? What are your thoughts on that? Because there has been talk about the MBTA potentially going a little bit further, going closer to the Cape, not across the bridge per se, but pretty close. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think first and foremost, they need to look at the local infrastructure anywhere they're going to put a train station, because most of the train stations they have now are literally choked by traffic as a result of this sudden surge in vehicles in and around the areas of parking. But in the larger picture, I would argue that the commuter rail system for southeastern Massachusetts should have a very, very heavy, strong, and vibrant link from Cape Cod all the way to Providence, and then further west into Connecticut and ultimately New York City. I think that would strengthen the whole South Coast, South Shore area by creating, because that's where the market is. I bet you there's more people commuting from the towns of Southern Plymouth and Bristol County to Providence than there are to Boston. But the other thing I'd say is I wish they would work on using commuter rail for commuting purposes between cities of the South Coast. Bedford to Fall River, for example, a rail. Bedford and Fall River to Taunton. A train that runs every 20 minutes back and forth. And then, from obviously from Taunton, you can go to Middleboro and Bridgewater and Brockton. Those should be commuter trains. Shouldn't just be 2 or 3 in the morning so you can get to Boston. And I'll say this: get off this let's go to Boston. How about let's go to Bridgewater State? How about let's have workers from Brockton go to jobs in New Bedford and Fall River? Right now, if you try to get to New Bedford from Taunton or Brockton or the population areas north there, it's very difficult unless you own a car. And that works against the people in the lower echelon of the economic class, the lower skilled people, lower wage people. Those people can't afford time and the money to commute all the way to Boston for minimum wage job. There's plenty of them available, starter positions and industries that we could create this giant behemoth of an economic institution engine right down here in southeastern Mass, focused on increasing the number of trips you can make from Brockton to Taunton, from Taunton to Fall River, from Fall River direct to New Bedford. Right now, there's no direct rail links between those two cities.
Yeah. And, I'm sure we'll keep an eye on this. I'll be talking about it. Me and Don will be talking about it in the future. Other thing, as well, and we'll end with this. Battery EMUs on the Fairmont line is not going to happen until the 2030s. So. That's unfortunate. All right, well.
All I can say is I'll close on one note.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next year, I think that the Boston Celtics are going to be the team to beat
Yes.
forget, Zula went into the seventh game of a playoff without his star player, Jason Tatum.
Mhm.
You give me a full season of Tatum, Brown, you know who.
Yeah,
You're
honest.
already getting production from Pritchard and a couple of other bench guys. I wouldn't want to be playing the Celtics next year.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much, Jim. That is Jim DuPont giving us a call for a couple minutes, talking about the summer fun runs, talking about the future of potential MBTA and Never Cape as well, and some other stuff along with that. So, all right, 12:01 p.m. I gotta thank everyone for listening in to Middleboro Matters. Again, the next two Middleboro Matters programs will be pre-recorded. I will be back with Middleboro Matters on the 6th of July. Yeah, the 6th of July. I'll be back on Middleboro Matters at that time. Bye, everybody.
We are AM 1530, WPBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259 TV, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, hometown radio station.
Into global markets,
That looks
according
good.
to official refund
Perfect.
document. The deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete.
Awesome.
Congratulations to President Trump posted on social
All right,
media
now,
Friday afternoon.
I'll get all the
Ships of the world
I'll get all the stuff together
let the
Yep,
oil
on
flow.
Thursday.
The terms of
Thursday,
the
yeah.
agreement, known as the Memorandum of Understanding, the United States is to begin dismantling its naval blockade of Iran immediately, while Iran is to clear the lines that scattered across the Strait of
So,
Hormuz and reopen
I
the
gotta sneak
waterways
into
for
your
commercial
market, and then you can sneak in there.
Under the
Let me just
agreement, the Russians
end my
will
stream.
require that the two sides
Yeah.
reached in April would be
And
extended for another 60
there we
days.
go.